People always say that life's pretty short. We should make the most of the time we have. And as a kid, I guess we kind of overlook this. Day by day goes by and we live with this preconceived idea of what life's really about. I mean, we think that school's shit. The more friends you have, the more popular you are. The one day you'll be rich and famous. You think you're invincible. But what I guess we never really think about is what happens next when all that disappears. So my year started out like any other. My alarm went off every day and I put on my stupid, uncomfortable uniform that my teachers like to call a sign of college unity. I didn't care though. I mean, it was only one more year. I wasn't going to let it faze me. I had to focus on basketball. Basketball was what I lived for. I'd train at least 3 hours a day, every day. I started playing when I was 7 and I fell in love with the sport. Basketball was all I thought about, and I lived with the dream of eventually, with enough hard work and training, making the pros. But dreams don't always come true. March 12th. That was the night where everything changed. It was a boys' night in, playing pool, Xbox, going for a swim, playing foosball, eating heaps of food, and playing more foosball. Just a great night. But then I fell. I just collapsed. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't move my body. All I could do was hear the yelling of my friends around me and the sound of the ambulance getting louder. They said I'd had a seizure, that my brain was emitting an overload of electrical pulses, and it caused my body to shake uncontrollably. I was confused because I didn't think this kind of thing would happen to someone like me. I was bedbound for 3 days while the doctors monitored me, just waiting for me to have another. It was like I was a ticking time bomb, just waiting to go off. They released me shortly after, suggested I took the next few weeks easy, but I'm a teenage guy, I mean, couldn't make any promises. Still, basketball was my rock, the one thing I could rely on to cheer me up. But even that changed. It was really simple. I was just playing the usual way I do. But then something smelt funny, and my body started to feel weird. And then I woke up. Time had passed. I mean, it didn't feel long, but it was. It was darker, cooler. No one was around. I couldn't remember anything. I didn't know where I was or what I was doing. I had to sit there for a while trying to collect myself, with the world spinning around me. Avoiding eye contact with my parents, I walked straight up to my room, closed the door, and crawled under the covers. I was broken, and for a while, I'd stayed like that. The next few months were some of the hardest moments of my life. Whether I was at school, basketball, walking, or even driving, I'd black out, waking up each time in pain and unwell. I hated it every time, but I knew I couldn't let it stop me. There was one day when my mates wanted me to play ball. At first, I was reluctant, but I didn't want to miss out. I kept worrying that the worst might happen, so when I said I'd go, I'd made sure I was prepared. As I arrived, all the boys stared at me and laughed, so I gave a slight chuckle to brush it off. As we walked onto the court, it hit me. Not the ball, but a rush of cold filled my body, and I could feel my heart pounding against my chest. No, not today. I wasn't going to let my fear stop me from doing what I love. And so I played, all afternoon, with my mates. Yeah, at times it was concerning, but it felt great to be able to do what I used to. I finally felt I could make this work. So lately, I've been going to this spot. It's a little patch of grass at the top of a street nearby. It wasn't much, but it soothed me. I'd look out across the suburban houses and think of all the lives everyone else was living. I always wondered what my life would be like without this condition. What if it was someone else in this position? What if someone else lived with the constant fear of waking up every morning thinking that the worst might happen? That you might black out and not wake up, with the regret that you didn't live life to the fullest. Could they live with that? And that's what this is all about. I'm not going to let this fear or my disorder hold me back. I'm going to live my life the way I want to, the best that I can, even when life dealt me a bad hand. I'm going to do it all. Well, eventually. Hiking, skydiving, skiing, I don't care what it is, I want to live. I'm not going to let this condition stop me. Because people always say that life's short, and that we should make the most of the days we have. Earlier this year, I took it for granted. I thought that school was shit. The more friends I had, the more popular I was. And I thought I was invincible. But when all that disappeared, is when life tested me. That's when I learnt the most valuable thing about myself. My fears, what drives me, what I don't want to become. And you know what? That's when my life began.